So we're going to start out standing at the top of our mats today. So if you come feet hip distance apart, hands resting by your sides in mountain pose, Tadasana. And we'll just start to close off our eyes. Really feeling your feet gripping the floor beneath you. And as you root down through the soles of your feet, feeling that energy rise up through the legs, up to the knees, the tops of the legs, the hips, traveling up your belly and your back, just feeling that sensation of being slightly more lifted, giving each and every vertebra a little bit more space to breathe, until you travel up the back of the neck all the way to the crown of the head, getting nice and long and tall. Maybe rolling shoulders down your back a couple of times until they feel nice and relaxed. And then just taking this moment now to observe how you're feeling physically, how you're feeling mentally, what kind of thoughts and feelings have you maybe brought onto the mat with you today that we could release. And then starting to focus in, tune into the breath, starting to breathe slightly deeper than you normally would. So you can feel your chest and your belly rise as you inhale and soften as you exhale. And just finding a nice steady rhythm to the breath, using the movement of your body to almost calm you into the moment. And if you feel like practicing with your Ujjayi breath today, that nasal, oceanic sounding breath, just closing off the lips, sealing them shut, and starting to breathe in and out through your nose. If that doesn't feel good for you, you can always keep that mouth breath going, completely up to you. And just before we start moving today, I'd like you to think of one thing, whatever comes to mind, that you know doesn't serve you to your highest good or your highest potential, whether it's a reoccurring thought, a reoccurring habit, whatever it is that just intuitively comes to you now. We always have something that pops up in our head. Don't ignore it. Acknowledge that thought and let it be the intention today that when we walk off of our mats, we leave it here. We don't go about the rest of our day with that negative thought, feeling, habit. It's left in the practice. When you're ready, just gently blinking open your eyes, find a nice soft gaze in front of you. And then as we inhale, we'll reach our arms up overhead. Big breath in, palms together to touch. And as you exhale, taking hands through heart center, folding down. As you inhale, lift halfway, flatten your back. Exhale, hands coming to the floor. We're stepping back into our high plank, upper push-up position. Knees lowering, lower all the way down, belly and chest. As you inhale, cobra. And as you exhale, pressing back, downward facing dog. Hips to the sky. Keeping a soft bend through your legs to start with. It's still early. We're going to do 3 rounds of sun salutation A's and then 1 of sun B, just to warm up, get our juices flowing. And then looking forward, stepping forwards, right toes, left toes. Inhale, roll all the way up to standing, reach up overhead. And as you exhale, coming straight back down, swan dive down, fold. Inhale, lift halfway, trying to really sync your breath with your movement. Exhale, hands to the floor, stepping back, high plank, upper push-up. Taking knees down to the floor, we lower down, belly and chest. As you inhale, lift up, cobra. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog, hips to the sky. Ooh, I can feel the heat already, we're only 2 in. Maybe starting to pedal one heel down at a time. Slow movements. We're staying for 2 more breaths. Nice. And then as you look forwards, we're stepping our left toes forwards, right toes. As you inhale, roll up to standing, reach up overhead. Exhale, coming straight back down, folding down. Last one, inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, hands to the floor, step back. High plank, upper push-up position. Either taking knees down or inhale, shift forwards. Exhale, lower halfway, chaturanga to upward facing dog or cobra. And as you exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Taking a moment, connecting with your breath. Good. 2 more. Big breath in. Big breath out. Last one. And then looking to the top of the mat, right foot leads us forwards, left toes follow. As you breathe in, stretch your arms up overhead. And as you exhale, hands coming to heart center. Pausing here for a second. We go for 1 sun salutation B. Taking a breath in, reach up overhead. As you exhale, folding down. Inhale, lift up chair. Lower your bum, slight tuck under of the tailbone. Hands floating to the floor, step back, high plank. As you inhale, shift forwards, knees lower or lower all the way halfway to the floor. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. As we breathe in, left toes lift to the sky. Looking forwards, big step between the hands, warrior 1. Pivot that back heel down. Exhale, hands coming down, step back, high plank. Lowering. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Really nice. Other side, right toes lift to the sky. Looking forwards, big step between your hands. Lifting up, warrior 1. As you exhale, hands down, step back, high plank. Now either knees lower or we lower halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Now you can definitely feel the heat. 2 more breaths. 1 more big breath in. And out. Looking forwards, leading forwards, right toes, left toes. As you inhale, lifting up, chair pose. Fingertips sweep the floor. Nice. And then as you breathe in, rise up tall, reaching arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center, closing off the eyes. Taking a moment to reset the breath. Pulling all that air up. Exhale, trying to soften, really nice. Just taking 1 more cleansing breath, inhale, and let it out. And then we'll reach arms up overhead, stretch up. Exhale, fingertips float down to the floor. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, hands down, stepping back, high plank, holding here. Stay with me, really push your shoulders out your back. Good, and then sending hips straight up to the sky, downward facing dog. As you inhale, left toes lifting, 3-legged dog. Looking forwards, big step between the hands. Lifting into your crescent lunge, hands reach up. Nice. As we breathe in, get a little taller. And as you breathe out, coming into your warrior 2. Good. Just checking that the front knee is stacked on top of your front ankle. Checking in with your alignment here. Good. Okay, we're going to get a little bit funky now. We're going to try and get from our warrior two into our skandasana, so our surfer squat. So we take a breath in. As we breathe out, front leg begins to straighten. We're bending into this back leg and seeing how low we can get down. Doesn't matter if it's just to here, that's fine. Maybe you can get all the way down, left toes towards the sky. This right heel can lift up off of the floor, so you're just balancing on your toes. Good, and then back to warrior two. So either using your hands to help you, maybe you've got the strength to lift just straight back into it. As you inhale, we lift up, warrior two, yes. Amazing, let's go for one more like that. So take a breath in. As you breathe out, lower into skandasana. Woo! Yes, good. And then from here, lifting back up, warrior two. Open up. Right hand coming to the floor inside your foot. Left hand to the sky, and I want you to pivot high up on the back toes. Good, twisted lunge. Breathe in and out. Coming into your side plank, you can pivot onto the outside edge of your foot. Take a big step back, either staggering your feet, or maybe you want to drop that right knee to the floor for a bit of support. Completely up to you. Holding, deep breath in, deep breath out. Yes, one more breath in. As we breathe out, high plank, taking a moment, and then sending your hips straight back up to the sky. Amazing. Coming to the other side, we inhale, right toes lift, looking forwards. Step between your hands. As you inhale, crescent lunge, lift up. Exhale, warrior two, opening up. Again, checking in with your alignment. Is that front heel in line with the back arch? Nice. And then coming into skandasana, surfer squat, we take a breath in. As you breathe out, bending into the back knee, trying to lower all the way down. Good. Might need a little bit of hands to help you. I certainly did. Good. Seeing if we can lift back up. Tip, take your toes to the floor. See if you can get all the way back up. Yes, good. One more, inhale. As you exhale, bending into the back knee. And again, if this is all we're going to today, that is so fine. Just feeling what feels good for you. Yes. And then we go back to warrior two. Give it some welly. We'll go lift up. Yes. Take an inhale. As we breathe out, left hand coming to the floor inside your foot, right arm windmills to the sky, and we're high on the back toes. Breathing here. Engaging through that back leg, not just letting it kind of sink down. We want to be nice and strong. And then from here, pivoting onto the outside edge of your left foot, and taking a big step into your side plank. Holding here, nice and strong. If you need to drop a knee, drop a knee. Good. Coming into your plank, hold for a breath in. Hips to the sky, down dog on your breath out. And then slowly lowering, knees to the floor, untucking your toes, and we press back to our child's pose. Letting your head rest heavy on the floor. Reconnecting with the breath. When you feel ready, slowly rising up out of your child's pose. We're going to meet in our downward facing dog, so lifting hips up towards the sky. Looking forwards, and I want you to take a big hop into your yogi squat, so feet landing on the outside edges of your feet, trying to make it nice and light. We do a big hop forwards, sinking your hips low, pressing knees into elbows, elbows into knees. Good, and then taking hands back down to the floor, we're hopping back into plank, light hop, jump back, yes. 2 more like this, look forwards, big hop forwards, palms lift into heart center, yogi squat. 1 more, hands down, hop back, and big hop forwards, hands lift. Nice, pressing knees out. Maybe taking a little rock from side to side. And then taking palms to the floor. We're going to hop back into plank, land it, and then press your hips up towards the sky. Taking left leg up, 3-legged dog. Looking forwards, left knee to left wrist, coming into our pigeon pose. Sliding that right leg back, nice. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, lowering onto forearms or all the way down to the ground. Completely up to you. Just trying to stay with your breath. Nice big belly breaths in and out. Trying to relax your shoulders down your back. And seeing now what's going on inside your mind. Any thoughts telling you, I can't do this, or this is too much, or whatever it is, or I'm bored, I can't sit here, I can't sit still. Just acknowledging all those thoughts, but letting them pass just as easily as they came up for you. Good, holding for 2 more breaths. We'll do the last breath together. Big inhale. Big exhale. Nice. And then walking hands back towards you, lifting through the chest. We're going to sit onto our left hip or left bum cheek, swing our right leg all the way around and step over that left thigh, trying to sit the right bum cheek back towards the floor. As you breathe in, reach up. And as you exhale, hugging with the left arm, right fingertips behind you. Take a breath in. Try and get a little bit taller. And as you breathe out, twisting a little bit further, trying to follow your twist with your gaze. Good. And then coming to face back forwards. We're going to slide our top knee onto our bottom knee for our cow face. Again, adjusting so that both sitting bones can be onto the floor. Fingertips out in front of you. We'll take a breath in. And as you breathe out, folding forwards. Good. If you feel like this is too difficult for you, you can always take fingertips behind and work your fold from there, just so you've got a little bit more support than you would do if palms were out in front. Trying to lengthen through your back, hug the ribs back in. Common thing that we tend to do is when we think we want to get closer to the floor, we kind of puff our ribs out to get us there. I know I'm always guilty of it. So just trying to hug the ribs back in as if you're wearing a corset. And fold, closing off the eyes. I know this one is super intense. You're probably giving me a screw face right now. Let's breathe in. As you breathe out, maybe sighing through the mouth, letting all that negativity, toxins flush out of you. 1 more, inhale. Exhale through the mouth. Nice. Lifting the chest, walking hands back towards you. We're going to take the sole of the right foot to the floor, either using fingertips to help you, or we'll take a breath in And as you breathe out, lifting yourself up. So you're almost into a kneeling position. I'm going to move back so I don't hit myself into the wall any second now. As you exhale, hands to the floor, we're going to press through our front foot and lift the left leg up towards the sky. Good. Standing splits. Swan diving your nose towards the floor, lifting that left leg as high as you can. And then taking a slow step to the back of the mat, palms flat. We're lifting our right leg up to the sky, three-legged down dog. And then looking forwards, right knee to right wrist, shin forwards, and we're sliding backwards. Nice. Pigeon on the other side. Taking a breath in. As you breathe out, forearms coming down, head coming all the way down if you prefer. And just trying to keep hips nice and even towards the ground. We don't want to be sitting our right sitting bone onto the floor, nor do we want that left hip sinking either. Try and think of your hips being nice and level with the ground beneath you. Relaxing shoulders. If your forehead is down, really let your forehead and the ground beneath you connect, sinking all that weight into the floor. And we just stay with our breath here. If it helps, maybe counting the inhales, counting the exhales. Nice, we've got 2 more breaths. Staying with it. Good. And then doing the last one together, we'll take a big inhale, big exhale, sigh out. And then walking hands back towards you. Sitting towards our right sitting bone, we're going to swing the left leg all the way around, step it over, trying to let that left sitting bone now root down towards the floor, so we don't want to be lifted through this left hip. And then from here, reaching arms up overhead. Exhale, hugging with the right arm, left fingertips behind you. Sitting nice and tall. And as we breathe out, twisting round. Just thinking about twisting round millimeters more every time you take a breath out. And also maybe testing yourself to see what happens if you lift your back hand off of the floor. Are you truly using the spine to twist, or are you using a lot of support from that back hand? The ideal is that we're super light on these back fingers and we're just using it for a little bit of support. So we're actively twisting through the spine rather than passively pulling ourselves around. Good. And then from here, turning back forwards, coming into your cow face, pulling that left knee on top of the right knee. As you breathe in, think about sitting tall, as if I'm pulling you up from the crown of your head. And then as you exhale, fold it forwards. Noticing maybe if this side feels different to the other side. I know for me, this side is always a little bit more tricky. Bit more juicy in the stretch. Nice. Again, option to put your hands behind your back to help you. We'll close off our eyes and take 3 cleansing breaths. Inhale through the nose, fill up the lungs. Exhale, sighing through the mouth. Let it go. Deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, sigh through the mouth. Last one. Breathing in, feeling all those toxins kind of gather together, clump them all together. And then as you exhale, breathe them all out. Yes. Walking hands back towards you. We're going to take fingertips behind us this time, unravel our legs, feet to the floor, and then pressing your hips towards the sky to reopen through the hips, reverse tabletop, lifting up. If you'd like to, letting your head hang back. If you prefer, chin can stay tucked. Good. And then gently lowering hips back down towards the floor, coming into your boat pose, hands under knees, lifting the chest, and we lifting toes up, rolling shoulders down your back. If you feel like you can, maybe floating hands today. Good, let's hold for 2 more breaths. Inhale and exhale. 1 more and exhale. Good. We're going to come into our shoulder stand from here. I'll show you how to do it first, of course, but just checking that you've got enough room at the back of your mat to roll yourself back. We're going to come all the way back. Use a bit of momentum on the way down to lift yourself up, grabbing your back legs to the sky. Trying to keep your chin slightly tucked towards your chest. Instead of having toes more towards your head side of the room, trying to press your legs towards the top of the mat. Squeezing through the glutes, lifting yourself up. Good. Now if you feel like you can, just slowly driving knees towards your forehead. Seeing if maybe you can tap and hover there. Can actually feel quite nice to have a little bit of pressure into the forehead with the knees. And then from here, if you can, maybe you straighten out your legs into your plow pose, tucking toes under, lengthening through the backs of the legs. All of this is totally optional. If it's not comfortable for you, then don't go for it. And then slowly lifting feet if they're down, coming into a little ball again. And we're going to roll ourselves all the way down to the ground. Taking feet to the floor, hands by your sides. Seeing if you can tickle the backs of your heels. And we'll lift up into bridge. Squeezing hips up, glutes fired up. Good. Holding for 1 more deep breath in. As you breathe out, slowly rolling your back down towards the ground. And then taking knees in towards your chest, arms into a T shape. We're going to let both knees fall over to the left-hand side, twisting over. Nice gentle twist. I always like to close off my eyes in my twist, just at the end of my practice, trying to settle the nervous system down. Feel into it rather than looking what you're doing. Trying to keep that right shoulder blade rooted onto the mat. And then as you take a breath in, take your knees in towards your chest, coming straight to the other side, knees to the right, looking to the left. Left shoulders trying to press into the floor. And if you'd like to, closing off the eyes. Staying tuned in to the body, to the breath. Every time you breathe in, trying to breathe space into the side of the body. And as you breathe out, trying to melt a little bit more into the ground. And then when you feel ready, knees coming back in towards your chest. Give them a good squeeze in towards you. You can take some rolls of the knees, just massaging that lower back space, drawing circles. And then when you're ready, finding your Shavasana. If you want to put on some extra layers or grab a blanket, please do. Letting feet come out all the way out long, hands resting by your sides, rolling shoulders down your back, and then shutting off the eyes. An option today, whether you want to take one hand to belly, one hand to chest, or if you just want to keep them facing up by your sides, totally up to you. And just feeling the back of the body melting into the ground. Imagining like you're on really fluffy snow. If you got up, you could see yourself imprinted onto the floor beneath you. Really becoming one with the floor, with the ground. And again, noticing what the mind's doing. Noticing if now that you're still, the mind wants to wander. And then just visualizing your thoughts like clouds in the sky. Just drifting by with ease. There's no effort to move the clouds across the sky, and our thoughts can be the same. Just letting them flow really naturally until the sky is clear. And when you start to feel ready, just breathing deeper into the belly, into the chest again. Bringing some movement back into the fingers, into the toes. Giving them a little wiggle. And then taking a nice long stretch up overhead. Pointing fingers from toes, toes from fingers. And then gently rolling yourself onto one side. Pausing there for a second. In a sleeping position, you can even make a little pillow with your hands. And then keeping eyes closed, I want you to lift yourself up into your cross-leg seated position. We'll take our hands onto our knees. And then once you get there, reaching arms up overhead, connecting fingertips to touch, connecting palms together to touch, and then drawing hands down to heart center, pressing your thumb knuckles into your heart space, and just taking a moment of true gratitude for your body, for yourself, for committing to your practice today. And then also taking the time to come back to your intention. That one negative thought, feeling, habit that you felt like you could leave or release onto your mat today. Leaving it here for good, knowing that it doesn't serve you to your highest good. And then when you're ready, gently bowing the head, bowing the chest. Namaste. Thank you so much, guys, for coming to practice with me today. I hope you enjoyed your practice, and hopefully I'll see you back on the mat very soon.